this, that means that the European Union actually looks like this. I want to show you France's weirdest...
Wow. Hey guys, welcome back to Foreigner Reacts. Today I'll be checking out a special video, and this one was a requested video. This guy actually requested this video on 2 different videos. Like, he really wanted me to do this video, so I'm definitely going to do it today. And I'm going to try to make this video available literally today on Foreigner Reacts. Like, I go off a schedule, and I'm going to try to break the schedule just for him, because he actually commented this exact same comment on 2 different videos. He said, can you also react France Still Has an Empire by Johnny Harris? I have already given you lots of videos on France, so please can you make a video for that? I have proposed to you, or the best you can do in all cases. If it's too long, or if you find them not interesting, it's your opinion, not mine, but I strongly recommend them. So he recommended these, and if I remember, I'll throw that comment on the screen, but I probably won't, but I try to remember. But the point is, I'll be doing your video right now, for real. So yeah, thank you for suggesting. If you guys want to leave suggestions in the comment section as well, feel free to do that, and I'll try to get back to this as soon as possible. But for now, let's get right into this video, guys.
France borders 8 countries.
8?
Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. It borders...
What the heck? This dude just said 8. What? But then he switched it up on me, bro. Like, he had me laughing, bro. Like, what?
Way more than 8 countries. And in fact,
really?
Its longest border isn't even this one with Belgium or this one with Spain.
What about Germany?
It's this one way over here with Brazil.
Wow, you played me. He played me.
What is going on here? I learned this on Reddit, and it quickly flung me down a giant rabbit hole of some very strange information. I then put a call out on Instagram and asked all of you to tell me what is going on with France and its giant overseas empire-looking thing. I got a bunch of responses. So then I did what I always do, which is spent the entire day mapping this. Every single island, every single administrative boundary, every single ocean border. I made an entire behind the scenes, by the way, for my patrons. Thank you, patrons. You guys rock. Yeah, it was a lot. But now I'm on the other side of it, and I have some stuff to share with you. By the way, this video is sponsored by Storyblocks, where I get a lot of amazing footage. More on that later. Okay, so this is France, but really this is only one version of France. They call this version of France l'Hexagone, or the hexagon. It's also called La France Métropole, or the metropolitan France. It's the mainland, it's the motherland of France. The France you probably think of when you think of France here in Europe. But there's another France. It's called France d'Outre-mer, or the overseas France. And that one looks like this. This France accounts for almost 20% of all of France's land and a whopping 97% of its ocean territory. Nearly 3 million French citizens live here. This France is peculiar. It includes far-flung tropical islands, remote archipelagos with penguins, and weird-looking uninhabited atolls all around the world. There's lobster fishing and scientific research and nuclear weapons testing and military exercises. And the mind-blowing fact here is that because France actually looks like this, that means that the European Union actually looks like this. I want to show you France's weirdest...
Wow, bro, he just keeps messing up my hair, bro. Like, what the heck? This is actually a really good video. This is actually flat out one of the best videos I've seen probably over 2 months right now, bro. Like, this is solid.
Borders and pieces of land to try to understand why this country that should have decolonized 6 centuries ago has territory all around the world. All right, so let's go over to the Netherlands. No, not that Netherlands. Let's go this way, over to the Caribbean. This is a little island that is split in half between the Netherlands and France. It's the only place where these two countries share a border. The population here, they're French citizens. A few years back, they did vote to become semi-independent from France, but even still, they're French citizens. This is France. Zoom out and you'll see that France isn't alone. This whole neighborhood is full of European colonial holdovers. France has 3 other island groups in this chain, 2 of which are basically the exact same as mainland France in their administrative status. And then you get down here to France's longest border, which is in French Guiana, which is a proper part of France and the European Union and the Eurozone. They use the euro here. But remember where we are, we're in South America. This place was used as a prison colony for France most of the time. A lot of people were sent here for grueling prison sentences. Many died. That's a whole other history. We're not going into it. Okay, so this is French Guiana and the Caribbean. Key part of France. Honestly, people just like to vacation here because they speak French and it looks like this. Anyway, let's zoom up north to a teeny tiny island that is a holdover from the old days when France was colonizing North America. This little piece of France is 4,000 kilometers from France Métropole, but it is a few kilometers off the coast of Canada, and it's right smack dab in the middle of Canadian economic waters. France wanted to hold on to this and have it as their own little enclave away from France. And so a few years ago, they fought with Canada in the international courts to try to carve out a little bit of economic waters for themselves that looked like this. Turns out they ended up only getting this little key-shaped slice of economic waters so that they could have a little passageway into their country from international waters to their little France enclave. And that's what it looks like today. It's a super weird situation. Here on this island, they use the euro and they speak French, like France French, not Quebec French. It is a very French place, even though it is right smack dab in the middle of Canadian waters. Okay, so the Caribbean and this weird set of islands off of Canada. Now let's get to the wild ones, the ones that were actually the hardest for me to get my head around as I was mapping them. If you zoom all the way down here, close to Antarctica, all of these islands are owned by France. There are people who live on these islands who are French citizens. We'll get to those in a second, but first look at this weird looking block. I know it's a little bit awkward. Thanks, Mercator. Let's look at it a little bit differently here from like an actual bottom-up view. This slice of land is claimed by France. A Frenchman arrived here in the 1800s and claimed it for France, and they've had people there ever since. That's a literal ice wall. Even in the 1800s, they knew that there was an ice wall. The world is flat. Okay, so France claims this little bit of Antarctica. Zoom up just a little bit, and you'll get to all these French islands that have a ton of inhabitants, but they're just not humans. There are more king penguins on these islands than anywhere else in the world. And honestly, looking at photos of these islands makes me feel like this is the part of France I want to visit more than any part of France. I mean, look at this place. And the crest for this group of islands, the official crest, is like really cool looking. I mean, it's got lobsters and seals that are like yelling and king penguins. I mean, this place is just a wild freaking dreamland. The only actual people who live on these islands are French military and science personnel. So why did France hold on to these remote islands near Antarctica and these ones here in the Indian Ocean? Well, other than the fact that France is, as our friend CGP Grey notes,
the queen of not letting go.
These islands provide France with a major presence in the...
The queen of not letting go. Wow. Yo, hey, man, what?
Indian Ocean military presence, where they can put bases, they can run patrols, they can just have a presence in this important geopolitical part of the world.
Here are the French military activities in the region between 2016 and 2019. You can see how these islands give France immense military presence in the region.
Okay, wait, I'm just trying to do like a fun geography explainer. I don't need to get into like the military stuff. Can we just chill out for just one video? Can I just not explain the geopolitics?
Sure, but don't forget that these islands are also used to harvest over 16 million euros worth of fish and lobster.
Okay, stop, I get it. Military dominance, resource extraction, science stuff, I get it.
But wait, while we're here, I also want to mention that during the 60s and 70s, France literally stole hundreds of children from this island, one of their territories, to bring back to France to help boost the declining rural population.
Okay, that's actually pretty effed up. Yeah. Okay, so zoom to another
Man, you gotta be like me, bro. Like, you just gotta be like me. Like, you know, messed up ass things that, you know, happened in the past. You're like, dang, that really happened. Okay, that's messed up. But whatever. We laugh at it now.
really remote part of the ocean, this time the Pacific Ocean. So the most remote ocean in the world, and you will see a bunch of teeny tiny islands that are France. They're 14,000 kilometers from France Métropole, which is like a half a planet away. Like, they're so remote. And to understand why France wants to hold on to these islands, just look at the water boundaries. The water boundaries of these 118 islands of French Polynesia are 5 million square kilometers. For context, the entire European Union, like the landmass, the area of the whole EU, is 4.4 million square kilometers. So the water boundaries around French Polynesia are huge. It is a lot of water that belongs to France. This place is home to Bora Bora and Tahiti and just a bunch of really beautiful islands. So maybe I take back my previous statement. This is the part of France I want to visit the most.
But wait, aren't you forgetting something?
Yes, I'm sure I'm forgetting something.
French Polynesia is where France tested its nuclear weapons. Almost 200 of them between the 1960s and 1990s, damaging local populations and natural environments, and violating international law.
Yes, of course. Nukes in the Pacific Ocean, damaging irreparably populations and natural resources. I should have known. I should have known. Sorry. Just trying to do a geography explainer, that's all. All right, let's look at one last piece of overseas France, which is right next to French Polynesia, but let's zoom to the other side of the map so we can see it better. This is New Caledonia, and they were actually on their way out of being a part of France. They were on a 20-year plan to transfer power completely to the people of New Caledonia. But just last month, just like literally a few weeks ago, they voted on this. The people voted, and 53% of them said they wanted to stay with France, while 47% wanted independence.
Voters on the Pacific Islands of New Caledonia have once again rejected independence from France.
France secretly loved this decision because New Caledonia is full of nickel, something that they could mine.
The result was welcomed by France's President Emmanuel Macron.
There you go with your natural resources again. And honestly, this vote of New Caledonia wanting to stay with France gets to the heart of the tension in all of these colonial holdovers. All of these islands are the product of French colonialism. Brutal, greedy, racist colonialism. The people in these countries were conquered and ruled by this ruthless power, who forced them to adopt their language, their government, and their economic structures. And yet here we are, centuries later, in a globalized economy where the world governmental order and system was invented by these big colonizing powers, the Frances, the Britons of the world. France holds on to all of these islands because of what we just talked about: military interests, expanding their economic waters, scientific research, exploiting natural resources. And so now you have many locals who live under France's rule, and many want independence. But others realize that there are benefits to being attached to the people who invented the rules and who still have the power.
Yeah.
That is not an easy tension to resolve. For now, things likely won't change. This is France and will probably be France for a long time. They will keep their sprawling, low-key empire around the world, and France's longest border will continue to be not with Belgium or Spain, but with Brazil.
Yeah, it's how I go, bro. Like, that's just how it goes, man. Like, as horrible as all these things may sound, it's just to be the king, to be the emperor, to be that. That's just what they had to do back then, man. You just got to be about it and live with it, man. You can't hate them for what they did no more, man. You just got to understand they were trying to achieve, and that's the only way they achieved. So they did what they had to do. So I ain't mad at you. But either ways, man, that's a crazy, crazy, crazy video. That was wonderful. I really am happy that I did it. And hope you guys leave some suggestions in the comment section down below. I'm out of here for now. Peace.